Hi everyone, my name is Adriana Alvarado. I am a fourth-year PhD student at Dantec, and I'm very excited of presenting our research on data migrations, exploring the use of social media data as evidence for human rights advocacy. On behalf of my co-authors, Britton, Dhairya, Doshi, Munmun, Choudhury, and my advisor, Christopher Dantec. Social media platforms offer a rich repository of crowdsourced information that has the potential to monitor human rights violations. From previous work, we know that these platforms represent rich sources of potential evidence, which can be used to hold institutions accountable. An example of this practice are the hundreds of YouTube videos documenting human rights violations in the civil war in Syria. Across the different applications of turning to social media data to understand human rights crises, a consistent challenge is preserving meaning as the content is taken out of context, and without that context, the documented experiences lose meaning and value. We refer to this as the challenge of data migration, since drawing insights and leveraging social media datasets require us to migrate data from online communities where the data are being produced into other contexts where those data can be operationalized into actionable insights and evidence. We argue that it is not enough to simply extract data from social media platforms. Instead, that extraction and analysis must be rooted in the standards of evidence and work practices of organizations, institutions, and other stakeholders who could benefit from the findings and insights those data may provide. The methodology we follow to bring local knowledge produced online into the offline context was guided by the needs and challenges that NGOs face when gathering evidence of human rights violations. Our research is a first step in developing mechanisms and tools that facilitate data migration from social media platforms to inform NGOs confronting an ongoing human rights crisis in Mexico. In the work we are presenting, we examine reports of missing persons in Mexico that were shared via Facebook groups. We focus on this type of reports because there has been an increasing number of missing people in Mexico since the beginning of the war on drugs in 2006. And the exact number of missing people remains unknown due to the inconsistencies between the figures provided by the government and those provided by national and international NGOs. We follow an iterative approach in which we identify 7 data characteristics that help us to migrate this content and establish a data gap between the number of cases officially recorded in the government database of missing people as compared to the official accounts of missing people circulating on Facebook. For this study, we collect 30,289 posts and 2,481 associated comments from 45 Facebook groups in which members exchange information about local crime and target the 4 municipalities within the state of Mexico with the highest rates of reported abductions during 2017. To find evidence of missing persons reported on social media, we use an iterative mixed methods approach to find signals, scale signals, and verify signals. At each iteration, we use computational methods to gather data and qualitative methods that help us to contextualize, seek scale, and demonstrate the veracity of the data. This took the form of extracting posts, classifying them as disappearances related with a predictive model, and then manually reviewing the predictions to identify and collect cases of missing people. As a result of our iterative approach, we identified 333 Facebook posts of missing people that included a state issue flyer, like the one showing on the slide. The existence of this flyer indicates that there was a complaint filed with the police, which ideally should trigger an investigation, and the case should be recorded in the official database of missing people. However, what we found comparing our findings with the official database of missing people in Mexico is that out of the 333 cases we found on Facebook, there were only 27 included in the database. In addition to those findings, we also identify 7 characteristics of social media data that contribute and limit to the process of systematically migrating local knowledge produced online into contexts where this data might be operationalized in a legal or advocacy framework, such as the context of NGOs. These 7 characteristics are official, redundant, descriptive, retriable, quantifiable, situated, and legible. We consider that each of these characteristics are necessary for migrating local knowledge from online communities into the offline context. In the interest of time, I will not go over the details of each single characteristic, but you can read about it in the paper. In conclusion, the outcome of our research provides an initial understanding of challenges and opportunities of migrating the local knowledge from online communities to be used as evidence by organizations seeking to address institutional failures. Thank you very much for your attention.